So, new report just came out. I'm just going to read this, and then I'm going to make you suffer with me reading the rest of it. But according to ABC News, officials are now saying that Betsy called a medical service the morning after she was previously thought to have died. The Santa Fe County Sheriff's Office confirmed that during the early hours of February 12th, Betsy called Cloudberry, a medical conciliere. Is that like the fucking Godfather? A medical whatever service. I should probably read that or try to find out what the hell that word even means. Concierge service that provides credentialed doctors to patients seeking help. Daily Mail reportedly spoke to a doctor from Cloudberry who confirmed that Betsy had contacted their office on February 12th. So they thought that she had died on February 11th because there was no emails that went out, and then the last time she used her clicker when she went into the gated, community, that was the last, there was no electronic. So they basically were just doing guessing. They couldn't figure out exactly like to the hour. But since she didn't have any more emails, she didn't respond to any more emails. And then she had that clicker when she goes into the gated community or whatever, maybe it was her fucking house or something. But up there in Santa Fe, what was it? Old trail, old dusty trail lane or something like that. So this is different. This is actually big time different. It isn't just, okay, well, we thought she died on February 11th. It turns out she died on February 12th. So, yeah, who cares? No, this is a big deal because she called the doctor. Good Morning America reached out to Cloudberry, who confirmed that Betsy contacted them to inquire about esoteric treatment that morning. Hey, can I get some esoteric treatment? What is esoteric treatment? A caretaker, so a concierge concierge. It's a caretaker of an apartment complex or a small hotel, typically one living on the premises. Concierge. A hotel employee whose job is to assist guests by arranging tours, making theater and restaurant reservations, etc. So, what is Cloudberry? What the fuck? All these damn companies who, make it sound like they're one thing, but they're really not. Isn't it supposed to, hey, I'm falling and I can't get up? Cloudberry. It's a type of amber-colored berry, also known as bake apple or knot berry. No, I'm talking about the fucking company, you asshole. Okay, so it's not coming up. There's like a whole bunch of stuff that says Cloudberry. So, what's this esoteric treatment? Well, she called us for, some esoteric treatment, and we were like, hey, esoteric means understood or intended to be understood by only a small number of people, especially those with special knowledge or interests. It's often associated with secret or hidden knowledge. Okay, so she wanted some esoteric treatment, some secret knowledge treatment. What are you talking about? She calls the doctor. She called Cloudberry, right? Who did they say that Cloudberry was up here? A medical concierge service. Concierge. So they're supposed to help with medical shit. Hey, can you help me out? And then guess what? Not only does she call them up and say, hey, I need something, but they further noted that there are no signs of breathing issues or distress. Are you having any breathing issues or distress? And then they said that the office returned her call twice, but they didn't hear back from her. Yeah, because she died. She fucking died. Hey, I'm making a phone call. I think it's an emergency. Oh, yeah? Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure it's an emergency. Just sitting there filing their nails, right, while they're sitting there collecting fucking checks. And they're not giving any service whatsoever. They probably have more people on sales than they do actually with the service, right? Cloudberry. Who the fuck's ever heard of this Cloudberry? Hey, I paid you a bunch of money. Can you guys help me? You got breathing issues? No, not breathing issues, but I feel like I'm dying. And then they said she didn't have no signs of breathing issues. If she died of hantavirus, then that means she had like pulmonary fucking, like her lungs were filled with fucking mucus and shit. That isn't what happened? That isn't what happened? She didn't have any breathing issues? What, did you just ask her, do you have breathing issues? I think I could breathe all right. I want to hear this last phone call. Because this is bullshit. This is bullshit. You had a pest control worker who stopped by the couple's home, grew suspicious. They didn't answer the door. They called a neighborhood security officer who coordinated with authorities to make the discovery. So they said that he had died with a combination of severe heart disease, high blood pressure, advanced Alzheimer's disease around February 18th, a week after Betsy had died. So he is without his main caregiver, right? Caretaker. I don't want someone who takes the care. I want someone who gives the care. So give me a caregiver. Fuck them caretakers. But his main caregiver died, and so he's just this old man on Alzheimer's just kind of wandering around until he dies, a fucking week later. So that has to fucking suck. And where were his kids? Where's Cloudberry at? And then they found out the dog had the necromancy or whatever. And the necropsy report said that the pup likely died of dehydration and starvation. Oh yeah, thanks a lot. And most likely he died of dehydration and starvation. We already knew that, like what did the necropsy report what they even do? Xena. So R.I.P. to Xena, R.I.P. to Betsy, what's her name? She had a kind of a crazy last name. R.I.P. to Gene Hackman, right? This story keeps on going. Betsy Arakawa. So Betsy Arakawa, R.I.P. to her. Xena, she loves Xena. They did put her crated in a closet. And so when she went down, the two dogs that were running free, they stayed alive. But the one that was put into a crate, that's eventually going to die. So that's got to make you think. Maybe you should never put any dogs ever on a chain or ever in a crate. Just let the dogs run free forever and ever and ever. Amen. Forever and ever. Forever and ever. Amen. So they said Xena's body showed no evidence of an infection, trauma, or poisoning, and that the dog's stomach was mostly empty except for very small amounts of hair and bile. They said they don't believe in foul play. There's some other articles here. Let's just take a quick look to see what they said. Gene Hackman's wife called medical concierge service before she died. Let's see here. Betsy Arakawa called a medical concierge service in Santa Fe one day after authorities previously reported her last known activity. So, okay, big fucking deal. They thought she died on February 11th and it was February 12th. But what is this BlackBerry? Tell me more about this BlackBerry. On that day, she exchanged emails with the massage therapist and was seen at a local grocery store. There was one incoming call from Cloudberry Health. Let's see if we can find what Cloudberry Health in the afternoon that Arakawa appeared to miss. Yeah, she was dead, you fucking assholes, on the floor in the bathroom, you fucking pricks. She tried to say, help, I've fallen, I can't get up. No other information about the calls was released on Monday. It remains unclear how and when Arakawa got the hantavirus. We are really allowing this motherfucking Cloudberry Health to get away. I mean, is their whole service about Cloudberry Health? Doctor in Santa Fe, New Mexico. At Cloudberry, we're reinventing the doctor-patient relationship. Marco Rubio isn't going to allow any doctors from Cuba to go to any of the other Caribbean countries. So none of the other Caribbean countries are allowed to take in Cuban doctors. Meanwhile, we don't have universal health care here. You fucking pay for this Cloudberry Health. You call them up, and they say, are you sure you're okay? What's up with your breathing? Oh, I think I'm okay. All right, well, we'll call you later. Hey, hello? Oh, she didn't pick up. Well, let's call her again. Hello, are you there? We called her back twice. She didn't pick up. Maybe we should stop by her house, She said she had some health issues. She's an elderly person. Maybe she was dying. Maybe that's why she spent all this fucking money on our bullshit fucking service. Dr. Josiah Child, who operates Cloudberry Health in Santa Fe, disclosed that Betsy contacted his clinic on February 12th a day after police. Why didn't you call her back? Why didn't you send somebody out there? Why didn't you call 911? You fucking prick. And what did she say? Did you record this stuff? My God, I would say 911 is better because at least they got that recorded, right? Specialization family medicine. They say they're reinventing the relationship between doctor and patient. Instead of actually doing any doctoring, they just let you die. No, man, they're really reinventing, instead of actually the doctor being a doctor and fixing your ailment or sickness, they allow your ailment or sickness to take over and eventually choke out your life. Josiah Child. Yeah, Josiah Child closed. You open at 9 a.m., huh? What the fuck? I'm sure he's got office hours and he's got a whole list of clients that are able to drive. That's another thing. Why don't we have doctors that do at-home visits? You expect all these old people that have all these fucking ailments and problems and shit to get in a fucking car, drive down the fucking way, when really, if all you need is rest and, relaxation, water, just the traditional things. Take some medicine, take some Advil, sleep, drink some water. Instead, you're going to put the stress and the anxiety of getting into a car, driving, fighting with fucking traffic, finding a fucking parking spot, putting on a parka, fucking getting, dressed up so people don't judge how you fucking, you're wearing sweatpants, huh? At the doctor's office, you asshole. Why don't we have doctors that actually come to the home anymore? Gene Hackman and his wife, Betsy Arakawa, proposed a new timeline of events. Santa Fe doctor claimed that Arakawa called his clinic on February 12th, one day after police say she had died. So, bum, right? I guess he was saying, hey, they're not telling the truth. She actually called me, okay? And what'd she say? She was just asking me about the weather and talking to me about, the Santa Fe goddamn Buckaroos. The local hockey team in New Mexico? Where do they get the ice at? Well, they actually import it from Alaska. She didn't call about bullshit, The whole point of having that Cloudberry Health, she called Cloudberry Health because she had a fucking ailment, and then you called her back twice and you didn't hear from her, and then you didn't give a shit. You didn't follow up. In fact, you were relieved, right? You worked your 9 to 5. She called. You had a whole, whole register, a whole, goddamn motherfucker line of clients. She said she wanted to get an echocardiogram scan for her husband. So we actually do have more information. So she was just asking about her husband, and that's it? Can I get an echocardiogram, a heart scan for her husband? He died of fucking heart disease. So this guy might be responsible for both of their deaths. Why don't we have universal health care? Why can't Gene Hackman just walk into a fucking hospital and heart disease? He had a pacemaker. I know he's 95, but she was 60-something. Why did they both die at the fucking same time? This is bullshit, He was an Unforgiven. He was like, I don't deserve this. And then, Clint Eastwood says, deserves got nothing to do with it. And blew his ass away. And then you had the Royal Tenenbaums. What did Gene Hackman say in the Royal Tenenbaums? He kept saying he was dying. And he was lying just to get back into the family's life. And then when they kicked him out again, he was like, no, but seriously, I am dying. And they were like, really? No. But we're all kind of dying in our own ways, right? We're all sort of... That would indicate to me she was seeking medical advice or medical help and may not have been feeling well. Called them to schedule an appointment for February 12th for an issue unrelated to respiratory problems. We can now confirm that Mrs. Hackman's phone was utilized on the morning of February 12th to call. That's weird. They checked the emails. They checked her clicker, but they didn't see if she made any outgoing fucking phone calls. How were they able to open up the phone? Doesn't she have a fucking password? And if they saw that she couldn't do the email thing, a total of 3 calls were made that morning, all to the medical center. 3 calls. So she called 3 times. One incoming call was made to Miss Hackman from the same medical center that afternoon that appeared as a missed call. Okay. This information was learned through investigation into the cell phone data contained on her phone. 2 days before she was due to see Dr. Child, Arakawa canceled her appointment, saying her husband, 2-time Oscar winner Hackman, was feeling unwell. 2 days before she was due to see Dr. Child. People aren't just machines. Oh, I'll just come back in 2 weeks. What if I need to come back in 2 days? You got a schedule. Hello, can you schedule me? Medical facility added that they detected no indication of breathing issues or distress during the call. After calling Arakawa back twice to follow up, their calls went unanswered. She called back on the morning of February 12th, spoke to one of our doctors who told her to come in that afternoon. We made her an appointment, but she never showed up. She did not show any symptoms of respiratory distress. The appointment wasn't for anything related to hantavirus. We tried to call her a couple times with no reply. She did follow by with all that prescription pills. It makes me wonder if this, goddamn autopsy person, if she knows what she's doing. She seemed like she knew what she was talking about. The revelation directly contradicts the medical examiner's conclusion. Okay, it's just 1 day. It's not a big fucking deal with that. But she returned to the couple's gated community around 5:15 p.m. The garage clicker data had showed. RIP to Xena. I'm just going to silently read here. Anybody watching this? If they're talking about getting this echocardiogram for him, they said for her to come in that afternoon. Why didn't she get there that afternoon? And then they didn't say that she had got an appointment for him. She got an appointment for herself. She needed to see a doctor right then and there. And then the pills, I don't know why we're not looking at the pills more closer. We made her an appointment, but she never showed up. She did not show any symptoms of respiratory distress. The appointment was for anything related to hantavirus. We called her a couple times with no reply because she was dead, man. Respiratory failure is not sudden. It's something that worsens over several days. Most people get admitted to the ER because they're having trouble breathing. It's exceedingly rare for a seemingly healthy 65-year-old to drop dead of it. In fact, nobody's heard of such a thing. They said that she was seen running around February 11th, visiting a chemist, pet food store, and supermarket. Mystery also surrounds who will inherit the $80 million Hackman fortune. The actor had 3 children, but his estate was tied up in a private trust. Who owns the private trust? His 3 children doesn't get it? I mean, he's 95, so to think that, he died of whatever. Man, we really fall apart when we get old, don't we? She looked like she was pretty vibrant. She looked like she's pretty healthy and vibrant. And then they're saying that it was a bunch of cotton rat poop. She died of poop of the cotton rat. How big are cotton rats? Or was it a mouse or a rice? Hell, a cotton rat looks Just like a damn mouse. And then there's rice rats. Rice rats look like a mouse too. Are rats mice? So Cloudberry Health, I think they really dropped the ball on this, but I think America dropped the ball on all of it, really. I mean, call 911. Why don't we have universal health care? Why can't we just walk into the fucking hospital and get fucking taken care of? We're a rich fucking country. She's 65 years of age. This private company fucking dropped the ball, and then she was switching over for other fucking private company. Free Luigi is right. Free Luigi is right. They said she had hantavirus, but Hackman didn't have it. So she's cleaning up some shit or something. She went into the fucking shed and she cleaned some shit up and then breathed it all in. Is it somehow, could the hantavirus, could she have got it afterwards? Because they're not going to find her body until 15 days later. I forget why they said the medical examiner, the person who did the autopsy, like really broke it down. Like intelligently, so I think like, I don't know, maybe I should just line by line, just, listen to what she said, and if she put the report out there, read the report myself just to see if it adds up. So Xena, the poor Kelpie mix dog, she actually brought him from a veterinary hospital on February 9th after a procedure. So she actually took him to the vet and then might have put him in the crate just to kind of have him lay down there in the crate. So just remember that, if somebody just falls down, drops down dead, they could have a pet. They could have, people that they take care of. Gene Hackman wouldn't have died if Betsy hadn't have died for a week. So he's just walking around like lost. Maybe doesn't know that his wife is dead. Maybe does. Who knows what he knows, what he doesn't know. He didn't have food in his stomach, but they said that he wasn't dehydrated. So he was able to get, to drink. But maybe he's just so old and feeble he couldn't, it looked like he had a cane in that picture. So it seems like he'd be able to push, buttons on a phone. But if it was just her cell phone, does he have the old, rotary phone? Who can he contact? He's at the mud room, so is he like, I got to get out of here. I feel like I'm about to die. Did he walk outside? Did he walk inside? $80 million. And who owns that trust fund? If I had a mother or father or grandfather, an uncle, aunt, anybody, if I had somebody that was going to give me $80 million, I would call them every once in a while. I wouldn't let them go with 3 months without a phone call. How bad was this Alzheimer's? Cloudberry sucks. That Josiah, I would not go there.